Hi, everybody. Welcome to Sassy Sisters Radio. You're listening to Society Bites Radio in beautiful downtown Sarasota. I'm Carrie Myernick, and normally I am accompanied by my partner in crime, Kim Smith. However, Kim has had a little boo-boo. So we're just going to go ahead, and I have a new partner tonight. Her name is Nicole Lopez. Hi, Nicole. How are you doing?
I am doing fabulous, and I'm not too new, Carrie. I mean, after all, I am the Inglewood hostess for Sassy Sisters, but that's okay.
She is. She's very involved in Sassy Sisters. She's also very involved with Society Bites Radio.
I am indeed, and
awesome.
I love it.
And you know what else? She's got a really cute sweater on with a flamingo. I think we call that the ugly sweater of...
Florida?
Florida, yeah, a Florida ugly sweater. I don't think it's too ugly.
It's not. I mean, maybe tacky because we've got hot pink and green, but I keep messing with the big fuzzy puffball that's on my chest.
It is a big fuzzy puffball.
But it's the body of my flamingo, and I love it, and I keep playing with it.
She loves her flamingo.
I do. Did I ever tell you why I liked flamingos?
No, Nicole, tell me all about that.
Okay, so when I moved down here to Florida, I envisioned, and no joke, that when you move to Florida, you were to have flamingos everywhere and look tacky as possible. I'm talking like glitzy hats, glitzy
You're looking at too many postcards. Yeah.
Exactly. I totally went postcard and tourist. So
she went postcard.
If you were to, what do they call it? Like flocking your yard with flamingos so that people, it's like fundraisers. They'll do this with fundraisers. They'll take all
it's like toilet papering, with flamingos.
Exactly.
Yeah. Right.
You wouldn't get any money out of me because I'd leave them all in my yard. I love them. I think, so that's kind of my thing as to why I said I like flamingos. It only started when I moved here in Florida.
Well, thank you for that, Nicole. That's amazing.
You're welcome.
So I know you were doing some fun crafts with your kids, but they turned out to be a little bit more adult than kids' crafts. Tell me about that.
Oh, yes. So, I'm pretty sure there's some moms out there who can totally relate because you have your kids coming up to you, Mommy, will you do this little craft with me? And you're like, oh, my God. Yes, honey, I'd love to. Let Mommy get a glass of wine first, and we'll sit right down and do that. So my kids and I went up to the craft store, and we got these little, they're called ugly sweaters.
I thought you went to the liquor store and got little small little booze bottles.
Oh, that came second.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah, no, you're going ahead. It's okay. So I got these little sweaters, and I started, knitting them or whatever you want to call it, sewing. Apparently I'm not that good at crafting. So I started doing those, and I started to make my own little designs on there. And yes, we have... Well,
there was a beer design. I think I saw the beer design. And
yes.
then I saw the martini design.
Of course, gotta have the martini.
But then there was the boob design. And I'm like...
Yes. I'm going to thank one of my other co-hosts on the other show of Kiss My Keister for pointing that one out to me. Mm-hmm. Because he said... No, that does not look like Santa's eyes. And I'm like, I don't understand. And I'm like, oh, gotcha.
Awesome. Great. So what you got in your glass there tonight, Miss Nicole?
Oh, yes. I have a beautiful vintage 2019 Bola Vapicelli.
Okay. Yeah.
Did I not get it right?
It's close. Looks to me like a Bola Valpolicella, but that was close. It was a really great try.
Yeah, I nailed it. I got it.
Yeah. So we're super excited tonight. We have a great guest. Her name is Karen Baker. Of course, she's a Sassy Sister. She's been a Sassy Sister with us forever. She's amazing. She's fun. She came with us to Italy. She went to the Valpolicella region with us. Karen was born in Logansport, Indiana. She graduated from Purdue University, and she started her college career as an engineering student. She currently is working her own business It's called K2 Capital Management, and we're going to talk to her a little bit about that. We're going to talk to her about her life and how she got to where she is. And first of all, we're going to ask her, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking iced tea.
Ha! Oh, so it's not the Vola Bapacellas?
No, not the season.
No. Oh, okay. Well, iced tea is good because we're in Florida, and, it's always nice to cool off a little bit, although it's a little chilly here right now.
Got a question for you. Is this the Southern style where there's like a ton of sugar in it?
No sugar.
Oh, so it's not Southern
It's
style.
straight up on the rocks.
Oh, wow, you're hardcore.
I know.
Wow.
Look out.
All right, so Karen, let's get to it. So you were born in Logansport, Indiana. Tell us about that.
Well, I don't really remember it. It was kind of a long time ago. There's not much to talk about when we're talking about Logansport, Indiana.
How many stoplights are there?
Not too many.
Okay.
I don't remember.
Okay.
I haven't been there in a very long time.
You weren't driving when you were there at 6,
No.
at the age of 6?
No.
Okay.
I wasn't.
All right.
I didn't grow up there, though. I grew up in Kokomo, which isn't too far away from there.
There's a Kokomo, Indiana?
There is, and the song is not
what the song is about?
The song is not about that Kokomo.
Okay.
I'm quite sure of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so what was life like in Kokomo?
Well, I don't know. Nothing real exciting going on in Kokomo either.
Mm-hmm.
I was a good kid. I didn't do anything too exciting. I went to school and I got good grades and didn't stay out past my curfew. I think I missed all the fun, probably.
So it's Friday night, okay?
Yeah.
It's like 8 o'clock right now, and you are 17 years old, living in Kokomo.
Kokomo.
What are you doing?
I am sitting in a parking lot of a department store.
What department store?
It's called Hills. It's not there anymore. All the kids would just go park at the Hills parking lot and just hang out because there was nothing else to do.
It's like hanging out at the Walmart.
Yeah.
I can totally relate to that.
And we got run out every weekend, but we were always right back there the next weekend. There was nothing else to do there.
So then what happened? So I'm assuming you probably graduated from high school.
I did.
And did you leave Kokomo?
I went to college. I went to Purdue.
Okay.
And
Purdue, that's amazing.
the little goody two-shoes I was in high school, well, she kind of disappeared as soon as I got to college. So I can't tell you too much about that on the air.
We asked the wrong question then. I got it.
Did you drink alcohol?
Yeah, I did.
Did you experiment with drugs?
I did.
Oh, you're the only one I know.
Yeah.
I think we all did a little bit of that.
Yeah.
Well, you know me by now. You know I did more than experiment with drugs. So, so what happened in college? How did you find your calling, or what did you major in college?
Well, I ended up majoring in consumer financial counseling and planning. I started as an engineering student. I've always been good at math. I've always been very analytical. My dad was kind of an engineer. He wasn't educated in the field, but that's the kind of work he ended up doing at Chrysler in Kokomo. Mm-hmm. And I kind of wanted to do what my dad did. But when I got to college, it just didn't really feel like, it didn't feel right.
Okay.
So I thought about it a lot, and I changed my major to the finance field. Mm-hmm. I'm still using math. I'm still using my analytical skills. But the financial field gives me a chance to work one-on-one with people, too. Being an engineer probably wouldn't have given me that opportunity, and
right.
It just felt right, and it worked out, and here I am.
Awesome.
So I have a fun question for you with the math. I'm going to assume you took a lot of math.
Yeah.
Okay, and now how much of that do you actually use for all of our future listeners? Do we need basic algebra? Are we talking like trig here?
I actually took calculus. I went all the way up to calculus.
Oh, my goodness me.
But if I had to do an algebra problem right now, I can't imagine. I couldn't do it. It's just been so long. It's all stuff we don't use, but I could probably figure it out.
We do algebra problems in our head every day, which is why we learned algebra.
I mean,
I knew I was smart.
As far as a really long, complex algebra problem, I could probably figure it out, but it would take me a little longer than it did back in those days.
Cool. So did you have any flings? Did you have any, boyfriends in college? What?
I really didn't date much in college. I just had fun.
Busy with calculus.
I was busy with calculus.
She drank and did math.
I had a lot of fun in college, and somehow I graduated with a pretty decent grade point average, and I honestly do not know how that happened.
Awesome.
I really don't.
Well, I don't think any of us do. I mean, look at colleges. It's kind of a sow your wild oats place, but we all end up getting grades and moving on to our careers. All right, so your career now is a financial advisor, right? And you're also in insurance, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. But so you're in Kokomo, you go to Purdue, you graduate from college. How did you end up in Florida?
Well, I was working for a finance company in Kokomo, Indiana. I was assistant manager. And my grandparents in the late 90s decided they wanted to come down to Florida and look around and see if maybe they might want to get a place and be snowbirds. So they found a house in Punta Gorda, and they moved down. And then my mother and stepfather decided to come down here and stay with them and look around themselves, because they wanted to move down here. Well, on my Christmas vacation, just for kicks and giggles, I came down to visit, and I went into the local branch of the company that I was working for just to see if they might be hiring. Their assistant manager was getting ready to leave. He was getting ready to take a management position in the Sarasota branch. They needed to replace their assistant manager within 2 months.
Couldn't have planned that better.
So 2 months later, I lived in Florida, and I had a job waiting for me.
That's awesome.
It was meant to be. It was in 1998.
Oh, wow. You've been here for a long time.
Yeah.
That is a really long time.
Almost 23 years, yeah.
Don't you say that.
Almost.
No, the only reason why I say that is because I graduated in 97.
You're a baby.
She's such a baby.
I'll smack you.
So, you got some creative interests. What do you do besides help people make money and ensure they're...
Just over the last few months, I've really gotten into art.
Art?
Yeah. I'm painting, and I'm making jewelry, and I'm doing some sewing, and just this interest just came to me just over the last few months. And it's a way for me to relax. It's a release. It helps me get my mind off of things. I love it. I love it.
Do you think that this is a result of maybe some of the sign of the times? We've all been kind of sequestered.
Yes, definitely.
And, finding things to do.
Yes.
But, as a business person, we don't always have the time to do those creative things that I think we all need to do those creative things. It's needed. It's a part of...
It's been very therapeutic, actually. Mm-hmm. I mean, my business is very stressful and takes a lot of my time, but when I do have free time, when I can get to any of those things, it just makes me feel good. I love creating. I love cooking more. I like creating when I cook. I kind of sort of follow recipes, but not totally. I like to throw my own ideas in there. So I've really been into creating things lately.
That's awesome. So you were in the corporate world for a while. I mean, you worked with this company, you moved down here. So then what happened?